Hey guys, I am joined today by the gorgeous Pia Mance, and she is the founder of Heaven Mayhem, the most incredible jewellery brand. And she's just an all-round great girl, and I have her in London at the moment, which is the best. We've been doing lots of walks and lots of talks, and I can't wait for all of her tips and business advice and all of the things today. So welcome, Pia.
Thanks. Such a nice intro. It's kind of
Aw.
awkward listening to your intro. Do you
Is
know what I
it?
mean?
Do you
I'm
feel
like,
when you're like,
yeah, so many
okay.
compliments, but you can't jump in and say thanks.
yeah, you have to
I was
wait.
just listening.
Well, it's all true. So thank you so
Thanks.
much for being here.
Thanks
And
for having me.
Yeah, of course. I'm sad you're leaving tomorrow.
Honestly, I'm really excited.
Oh, yeah. You're
Yeah.
ready for routine.
I'm ready to go home.
Yeah.
You
What
know,
are you
on my
most
way
excited
here-
for?
Just like making my own food. On my way here, I realized I've been away for 3 weeks. I haven't had breakfast, lunch, or dinner at home once. Not one
Yeah,
meal.
that is. I felt exactly the same in January. We just love routine and cooking,
Yeah.
making things the exact way that you want to have them.
Yeah, it's very important to me. And just like sleeping in my own bed, doing my own routine, going to my own gym.
With your doggy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting. So let's take it all the way back to how you had even came up with the idea of Heaven Mayhem, because
Perfect.
take us back.
So I had moved to LA in January 2022, and I was so busy every day, like working so late at night, just pretty much doing nothing but always busy, doing stuff for the house, doing this, doing that. And I would always say to Cody, my husband, like, I'm working every day, but for what? Like, on what? Like, I have nothing to show for it. Like, I'm not achieving anything. So I wanted to start my own brand. I had the idea to make these little vintage style cord pendants. I went to flea markets around LA. There's like, you should go to the Rose Bowl Flea, or anyone listening who wants to go to LA, that's like the best flea
What's
market.
it called?
Rose Bowl Flea. It's on once a month.
Oh.
And so I would go all around LA, different flea markets, found these vintage pendants, tied them with suede cord, and called it like Vintage Drop One. And there was 20 pendants, but then there was really only 15. I just launched them and said 20. Oh, 5 sold out straight away. Do you know what I mean?
No way.
Yeah.
This is what I love about you. You're so honest. You're just saying everything that no one else.
All the secrets. Yeah.
All the secrets. So you were like, guys, we've sold out of 5 already.
They're so in demand. Like, you got to be quick, you know, because they sell out so fast.
But that's so good. And I think so many businesses actually use that.
Yeah, they
'cause
do.
It creates that kind of FOMO thing, doesn't it?
It's crazy. And I'll tell you a story about that later as well with my belts now. But then I did Vintage Drop 2, Vintage Drop 3, and then I found this like dead stock vintage pendant, which was a circle. And I had like 50 of those. I made those necklaces. They sold really well. I went to them and said, do you have any more? And they were like, yeah, we have more. We have 350. I said, I'll buy them all. They arrived at my house. They were the wrong size. They were too small. And I was like, oh my God. And at this point in the business, I was like not taking any losses. I was like, well, I'm still going to have to try sell these regardless, even though I didn't want to. So I put them online, and they then became my bestseller. And then from then they had more and more and more of those. So I just kept selling that one product. And then,
But you thought they weren't going to sell
yeah, I
because
thought
they were so small.
yeah, I was like, there's no way this is going to work. I was so upset about it. And then look what happened. It ended up being the bestseller. From all the money that I made
That's
from that,
amazing.
I put into earrings, and now I would never be like caught dead in any of those necklaces I used to make.
No, but I saw them. They're so cool. I feel like they're coming back.
They're coming back.
Aren't they?
I'm redoing them for summer, but in a bit of a chicer way.
Yeah, in a way you would be seen.
Yes,
wearing
in a way I would be seen wearing them. And then
So that was before it was called Heaven Mayhem.
No, it was called Heaven Mayhem then.
You knew the brand name and
Yeah,
everything.
the brand name. I did the website. It was all just pretty. Like, if I look back on those graphics that I did, it was only a year and a half, and I'm like, that is foul. That is
Really?
so disgusting and embarrassing.
How did you come up with the name?
Just writing a bunch of stuff down. Like, it's okay, I'll tell you the name. So what I did was I wrote a bunch of words down, because in this day and age, you could think of the coolest brand name you've ever thought of. Like, I don't know. Like, for example, you're launching a basic brand, you call it Basic. Best name ever. That's perfect. Do you think that's available? No. Like, you need it to be, you need to have the trademark, you need to have the website, you need to have the Instagram handle. If you don't have it, there's no point launching.
Yeah.
So I was just trying to think of anything.
It needs to be something so random.
So random and
but
unique.
actually those are the best ones.
Exactly. Because if I come to you, I said, oh, I want to start a brand called Apple, you'd be like, what the hell? No, like we eat an apple. Well, look at Apple today. Like it's the world's biggest brand. We never question the name. So once something's a name, it's a name. You don't even question it. So I was just writing down random words, and I really liked Heaven Mayhem. And then I kind of used that as a story because I'm like, I really like these two words. They go together well. When I feel like a mess, I'm like mayhem, you know, like nothing's working, I look shit, I just don't like my vibe, I add jewelry and I always feel like heaven. So that's how the name kind of like solidified, and I was like, yes, these two words work. But really it's not like, you know, it wasn't like passed down through my family and,
no,
you know,
there's not some deep story.
Yeah, no, nothing's that deep when it comes to me. And then,
but it works so well because it is such a cool aesthetic brand, and Heaven Mayhem is kind of cool, edgy, but you have that kind of heaven girly side of things also.
Well, thanks. I feel like I've heard it a zillion times. I'm just so used to it now. I don't really have like if I like it or not. I'm just like, is what it is.
Yeah. Okay, so you did your cord necklaces and that did well. So then you had kind of a pot of cash to then keep going with it. So at what point did you think, okay, this could actually really be something?
Honestly, like 3 months after launching. Like when those necklaces started selling, I just like went with it. I'm like, okay, so I'd done my Shopify website. I'm doing all my graphics on Canva. And then I made a new product and did a photo shoot with a model. I paid this girl. Actually, she did it for free and I took the pictures. Previously, Cody or my friends would take the pictures of me. So then it's like, oh, I leveled up and hired a model. Then
wait, go back. I love all these steps. So you were doing your own Canva graphics.
Oh, I still do all my own graphics. I still do all my own website. But
and you were posting all the orders and everything?
Yes, I was. No, not only was I posting the orders, I was making the necklaces, cutting the cord, tying it on, wrapping it up, packaging it, sending every single order to every single customer, and then just like every facet of the business. But then as I had like a little bit more growth and I guess success, then I would like switch things up. Like, okay, now I'm gonna switch up the website. But I never like paid anyone. I think I work really.
Did you make the website yourself?
Yeah, the website's all me.
This is the thing. Like I think that often starting a brand, people create excuses or there's so much fear. They're like, oh, well, you know, I don't have money for a web designer. You actually don't need one. There's so many Shopify themes and it's so easy to do. Easy. You could do it in a day.
Yeah.
And you don't need any financial backing to really just start. Just sometimes starting is the hardest thing.
I always say, I like to like preface it. I'm like, this isn't a rags to riches story. Like me and my husband have moved to LA. I already had a car. We already had bought our house. Like I don't want people to think I'm out here saying, oh, I started my brand from nothing. And they're like, honey, no, you didn't. So I always want to preface that. And I was in a privileged position that my job was social media, so it didn't take up a ton of time.
Yeah, and you had the security of the house.
I had a husband who has a job and we have a house, so like all good. But I truly just started this brand with $900. And I think previously I've said like, I started with like 10 grand because I'm embarrassed I started with $900 because
no, I would be so I would be the opposite.
Like, I don't know. But anyway, so I used that money and then funneled it in, and only now, a year and a half later, I just hired someone full time.
Wow. And now you've got a fulfillment center that
now I have a fulfillment center. Now I have someone working full time in the brand. I had an assistant working like across personal and Heaven Mayhem, and she still works for me. And now I'm like, who else do I need? Yeah. Now we're hiring.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about the other day. Hiring is so difficult, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially when you have I feel like if you have a bigger team, it's kind of a different ball game. Whereas if you're such a small team, you're basically like a family, and it needs to work. So it's so tricky.
And you spend so much time together, and you're kind of like friends. I was saying to someone the other day, like, if I meet you, we're friends.
Yeah.
Like there's no like, oh yeah, we've met, like we'll instantly be friends. I make friends very quickly, and like I'm friends with a lot of, I just make friends. So I'm like, if you work for me, we're friends. And then that can get kind of hard if you're like, you're doing it wrong.
Because then there's like the boundaries and the crossover and the line and stuff. But you are so good at, we'll come to that because you're so good at making friends. And I had a lot of questions actually this morning. I did a Q&A and people were asking for tips about making friends in adult life. So let's come back to that, because I think you've got so many tips. Okay, so then you set up your website, you were doing all the graphic design, and you started doing your new collection.
Yeah, then I started with earrings, which launched in April before Coachella. And I think coming from being an influencer and like I said, making friends, it really worked, because I would send it to other influencers and like I've previously promoted their brands, or I've previously gone to all their events, or we're just friends now, and they're like happy to wear it and tag it.
Yeah.
And they also really loved the product, so that helped. And so around Coachella, I was like, you know, lying in the sun in Palm Springs and having like big influencers tag and link, and I was like, oh my God, like this is crazy. And then April last year was,
and was that because you had just sent it out to them pre-Coachella? And
yeah, but
they were just
it
supporting?
it wasn't like a Coachella initiative. It
No.
just like all the timing just lined up. And then I
Yeah.
think people were kind of like, I don't know, there's a weird thing that happens around Coachella. Everyone's like, what am I going to wear? Like it's a
Yes.
huge thing.
Yeah.
And so then I think people were just kind of wearing it to Coachella. They're wearing the cord necklaces a lot. I saw a lot of girls wearing that. And then it was so cute. Like I'd see people around Coachella and I'd run up to them and be like, you know, you're wearing my brand. It was really fun.
Oh, did you do that? And then did
Yeah.
you take a picture of them in it?
Yeah.
That's
I'm
so
like,
nice.
DM the account. I'll send you whatever you want for free. And like my friend's like, that's not how you make money. I'm like, I don't care. I'm so grateful.
Yeah, but also we were talking about this another time. It's so important to be loyal to your customers,
Yeah.
as well as just influencers.
Yeah.
Like we all gift influencers, and we're so lucky that there is this kind of social media world where people want to support you and share, and it's the same with me. But I think we have to, like, as a brand, you have to support your loyal customers.
Yeah. Like the customers are the people actually paying for it.
Yeah, they're the ones supporting your business in that
I
sense.
am already like my husband saw in my calendar like planned Christmas gifts, which is like now in my calendar, because I'm starting to think about what, because the holidays period has just passed. It's
Yeah.
like fresh in my mind. And he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, oh, for Heaven Mayhem, I'm going to do something for influencers, and I'm going to probably buy like maybe 100, 150 extra to gift my most loyal kind of customers. And last year as well, we went through who has placed the most orders, and then I sent them all a personal thank you and then a gift card to the store. Just like
That's so
I
nice.
really want to make sure I'm looking after the customers, not even in like a business perspective so that they buy more.
Just
It's
you're genuinely
I'm genuinely
grateful.
like,
Thank
thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much. Like
Yeah.
this has started from nothing, and you always buy stuff. It's so nice.
Yeah, it's so nice.
Yeah.
You're really good at that stuff, the detail and the touches, and I think
Oh, I try.
that is what really counts, and people remember those things. So, and I think when you grow and you get to a big business, it's easy to forget, and I think
Yeah.
it's really important to stay true to that forever.
Yeah,
Which
I
you
think
obviously
it's
do.
well. I have to remind myself as well.
Yeah. Okay, and then you fast forward to every single celebrity, it feels like, wearing your brand. So how did that transition happen?
I honestly, I don't really know. I think when I was doing the earring, well, I'm still doing the earrings. The earrings are the biggest part of the business. I'm really focusing on like different styles rather than hoops. I think gold hoops was such the rage for like 5 years. Everyone was wearing them, and then I think everyone got a little bored, and I was one of the only brands doing like big statement vintage inspired earrings. So I think naturally a lot of people were just like, oh, I'd like to try out something new. So it worked that a lot of those people included celebrities.
Yeah.
And it just kind of snowballed. I think once one stylist puts them in something, the next stylist DMs, and like it's just all
So
happening.
were you reaching out? Was that your kind of you were reaching out to stylists?
They reached out to us.
It just naturally happened.
Every stylist, every celebrity, every retailer that we're on has all reached out to us.
That's
to the
amazing.
info at Heaven Mayhem. So if you have an opportunity, reach out.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because I then passed on the customer service on the info at Heaven Mayhem to my assistant. So she
Yeah.
was on that inbox. So I'd go through it like every couple of days, and I'd be like, oh my God, like I'm
believe
getting,
it,
yeah,
yeah.
how have I missed this email from the world's biggest stylist, and the world's biggest retailer wants to stock me? Like, oh my God, like replying to things like 5 days late because I'd missed it.
That's amazing. Like that's a good problem to have.
Oh, yeah, it's
Do you
great.
think living in LA helps?
Yes, because
Everyone just moved to LA. You
Yes.
have an amazing business. But I do think that like spending some time in LA,
Mm-hmm.
it is that kind of, it's that environment where everyone is kind of hanging out, and that you could be sitting next to Hailey Bieber. And I know that you had a situation with meeting Hailey, and I think in London that is a bit more tricky, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I would love to hear your kind of like tips and advice around that.
I think being in LA has been so helpful, just because if someone wants the brand, they can have it the next day, especially when we were shipping everything from home. Sorry, they can have it the same day. We can be there within 20 minutes. Like, you know, we can get the product. So with Hailey, even though I feel like, I just feel awkward telling this story a little, because I just don't want to like clout chase and like jump on her name.
No, but and you're so respectful of her.
And I'm like, oh, I don't want to be so clickbaity. Like the time I met Hailey Bieber and gave her earrings, like that's so cringe. But her best friend bought earrings, and I recognized the name, and like at the time all the orders were coming through my phone on Shopify. I like saw that she placed like 5 items, which was huge. I'm like, oh my God, like her, like I knew the name. I was like, oh my God, wow.
Yeah.
I saw them all through Europe. She was wearing them with Hailey, and then they'd come back from the trip, and I ran into them at a coffee shop. I was looking for my friend. I saw them.
Is her stylist styled by Maeve?
Her stylist is Danny Michelle.
Danny Michelle. Okay.
So she was sitting.
She's also Courtney's stylist, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I know which one.
And so Hailey was sitting at the coffee shop with Justine Skye, and I was like peering around looking for my friend, and I saw them, and I'd seen her what's it called? Psychic? Yeah, psychic, right? The night before, and she just like made me feel good about my life, and she was pretty much just like, oh, you can do anything, and like made me feel really excited about like living life. So then I was just like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to go say thanks, because she has spent cold hard cash on my brand, and she's wearing it all through Europe. So I'm going to say thanks for the support.
Yeah.
So I went up, and I was just like,
that's so good. That's ballsy. I like it.
It's ballsy, and I would never just go up to like Hailey or Kendall and be like, hi, I'd love to introduce my brand. But I had a leg to stand on.
And she is a customer, so you would do that to any other customer.
Exactly. And so I just went up and said thanks, and then Hailey was like listening to the conversation. She's like, oh, I also have a brand. I'm like, girl,
I know. I know your inside leg measurement, Hailey.
I have every product. Like, okay. Like, she's like, oh.
You're like, do you?
I was like, really? What's it called? No, she goes, oh yeah, like I also have a brand. I know what that's like, because I said like I only started it a couple of months ago, whatever, because it was really new. And then I was like, oh yeah, I know. And then she goes, yeah, I know. I always see you tagging and supporting. Thanks so much. And I'm like, hello? You recognize me?
She knows me.
And when I walked away, I'm like, she's either like so sweet or really well media trained. And then since then, I've like told this story to someone else who works with her, and she was like, no, that's just her. She's the nicest girl you've ever met. She's so involved in her brand. Like she would definitely have seen you tagging and like repost whatever. So then the next day, I was kind of like on a bit of a high. I'm like, oh, you know, Hailey was so nice to me, and like she knows about my brand. That's all I need.
Yeah.
And then the next day, her stylist DM'd me and was like, we have a fitting with Hailey today. Can you bring it to her house? And I was like, I sure can. I have every product.
I'll be there in 5.
Yeah, literally. I'm like, I'm on the way. And then she wore them a couple of weeks later, and then now I'm in touch with her team, and I just send whenever we have new stuff.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you think that was a real turning point of the business?
Yes.
In terms of obviously sales, but also kind of, I feel like once it gets someone like that, it's like a stamp of approval. Almost.
I agree.
And she is such a cool girl, and she is your perfect person for your brand. You know what I mean?
She is.
The best ambassador.
I think she's like the it girl, which everyone throws around that word, but I think the Heaven Mayhem customer, if you ask any Heaven Mayhem customer, who's your favorite style inspo, who's your favorite person to follow, I honestly think 90% of them would say Hailey Bieber.
Yeah.
So she's just like the perfect person. And it was like you're right, a stamp of approval. It wasn't absolutely wild in terms of sales, but then it definitely snowballed. And I think after people saw it, and now people always say like, whenever they talk about the brand, like Hailey Bieber loves it, Hailey Bieber wears it. I'm like, suits me, but it's crazy.
It's almost like a catalyst to so many other things. So like you say, if you're waiting by the kind of getting those Shopify dings on your phone, that's not necessarily the sign of the success of her wearing it. So I think it's so important to kind of say that, and then press would reach out to you, and it would be a Vogue article saying Hailey Bieber's favorite jewelry brand or something like that. So it leads to so much more. And
even like on TikTok, girls will start the video like, Hailey Bieber wears these, so I had to get them, or like, let's unbox these new earrings. Hailey Bieber's been wearing them. Like it's very, I don't know, catchy and like catches on, I think. And we've been on quite a few other celebrities, but no one has ever kind of had that similar virality.
Impact. Yeah. So who would you say are the other kind of, who would be the top three? Hailey, and who are the other?
Well, probably Kendall.
Kendall Jenner. Yeah,
I think Kendall is...
She's another it girl.
I think she's an it girl because she's like friends with Hailey. She's high fashion. She's model. She's into the Kardashians. But then I personally like love her style. Yeah. Like I would wear everything Kendall wears. Yeah. Because I think she dresses very like cool and classic and timeless in the day, but then sexy at night, which that's like the vibe for me.
Perfect. Yeah.
And then who else is an it girl? I don't know, maybe someone like Sabrina Carpenter right now. Like everyone loves her.
Oh, I don't know.
Or Alex Elle.
Oh, did Alex Elle wear the...
No, she hasn't. I'm saying my dream.
Oh, your dream would be...
Oh, sorry. Kendall hasn't worn Heaven Mayhem
Okay,
either.
So that's next.
Yeah, that's next.
Okay,
and then maybe
that's
someone
exciting.
Like Alex Elle or Sabrina Carpenter, because they're like, everyone's obsessed with them.
Obsessed. I think Alex Elle, I'm obsessed with her TikTok.
Oh, same.
She's so...
I love how when she is like talking, she kind of like smiles and laughs, and then I'm like smiling with her. I'm
same.
Like, you put me in a good mood.
She does so well at making you feel like you're in, like if she's getting ready and doing her makeup, you feel like you're in the bathroom with her.
Yes.
And you're part of yes. Yeah, she's
I'm
so
like,
cool.
She was doing a video in Vegas with her boyfriend in bed. And I'm like, this is honestly so relatable. Like, I would never post that, but like, I've done that. You know,
you would do that and send it to your friend.
Yeah.
My boyfriend would die if I put that online.
Same. Oh my God.
Oh my God, he would die. But I love it that they do it.
Same.
Okay, amazing. So in the kind of, on the topic of business, what would you say to you? What has been your biggest lesson? Let's start with that.
My biggest lesson, I think it's very easy to get caught up, like we were saying, in investment and needing this and needing that to start. And that's why I did the preface, like it's not a rags to riches, but I did start with hardly any money. And that is really, really important to know that it is possible. Yeah. And I think doing everything yourself, like I don't know how to do a Facebook ad. I don't know how to do a profit and loss. I didn't even know how to use Excel, but I just teach myself. YouTube will be your biggest tool. It's all I use. YouTube and then Canva as well. Like I need a sponsorship with Canva. I talk about it every day. I'm obsessed with Canva. But,
I need your Canva tips after this.
Oh, Canva is honestly my best friend, but I think it's very easy to get very far on your own and doing it yourself. And the benefit of doing it yourself is you can like pivot and change all the time. If I'd gone and spent $30,000 on a branding proposal and marketing deck and blah, blah, blah.
And then change your mind.
I changed my mind. Yeah. Well, I can't change my mind. I've just spent $30,000.
Yeah,
Me, I didn't even spend $100. I can change my mind every second day if I want. So that is my biggest tip. You can do it yourself. You don't need the funding.
Just start somewhere. Even if it's something so small, like, for example, you did your suede necklaces. And that was just you, like a one product thing selling through Instagram. I mean, that is and you were making them yourself.
Yes. I think it's possible.
Did you do that type of thing when you were younger, like make friendship bracelets?
Yeah. So cute. Sewing, like collage.
So relaxing,
so much
doing
stuff.
all that stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can start so small. I always tell people with Pilates or training in general, you just start. We were saying this again the other day. Just start on Zoom.
Yeah, just start somewhere. Just
do something. And I think the problem with Instagram, it's so amazing, but there are some kind of like issues where I think it just shows the end result sometimes, and then people get so bogged down on the end result. Oh, I can't even see the wood from the trees, how I'm going to get there. But I think if you just think of the first step that's in that direction, it could be so small, like making your own necklaces and selling them to 10 people on Instagram, or doing a class to 10 people on Zoom, whatever it is. Just do one step each day, whatever it takes.
So I have 2 kind of life mottos that I live by. One is done is better than perfect, and I like truly believe this in every single aspect of my life. Like when you're getting ready to go out, it's fine. It doesn't have to be your best outfit you've ever worn. Your makeup doesn't have to be the best you've ever looked. Like you still look good. It's fine. Like with the brand, like you've got a product out there, like just get it out there. Don't wait till it's perfect, because you'll never launch, or you'll never have the website or any single thing, because like I said, you can always pivot, and I use done is better than perfect all the time, probably more than I should, but it's like I like live by it. And also my other motto is drop the struggle, because why is everything so freaking hard? Like it's actually not. Just get it done, move on to the next.
Yeah, that's another thing. I feel like we're in this phase where everything has to be relatable, and like it has to, like, people are really talking about the struggle in really amazing positions. They're in such fortunate positions in their life, and they're sharing the struggle, and it's like, okay, let's just share the gratitude. Maybe sometimes let's be real and share challenges and stuff, but do it in a genuine way, which is, you know, sometimes you could just have the best month ever. Share that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it doesn't have to be every day something relatable, something, you know what I mean? So I agree with you. Just get it done. No excuses. Focus. Be motivated. And just get on with it.
Yeah, just get on with it.
I always think, like, it's like our parents when we grew up. Like, they didn't have boundaries. They didn't have any of the... They didn't have their wellness routine. They just woke up, like, got shit done, didn't complain about it, and just figured it out. Whereas now it's like, oh, I have boundaries and this and that. So, yeah.
It's so funny when you think about it like that.
I know, it really is. And done is better than perfect, I think, is another really good one.
I'm sure, do you look at your old Pilates videos and think, girl, or not? Do you think they're perfect?
No, I do, of course not. And they're literally, they were on my kitchen floor.
Yeah.
I was balancing like this shitty tripod on like books hanging off of my table, and they look terrible. But some of those classes are some of my most popular classes. The very first days.
Because it's like real.
Because who cares? Like, as long as you're having a good workout, who really cares?
It doesn't matter, yeah.
No.
And also it shows people you can work out in your kitchen. But like, done is better than perfect. If you waited till you had a studio and some nice lights, how long would it have been till you did it?
I would never have done it, because I wouldn't have been able to afford it.
Exactly.
So yeah, I so agree with that. Okay, well, thank you so much. Let's get on to wellness now, because you are a fellow wellness girly.
Not as much as you.
No, I love our chats that we have. So you live in LA now, which is, I feel like you thrive in LA.
I thrive.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I think it's the sun. It's like the calmness. I have a lot of calmness in my environment, because like some days I don't even really leave the house. So it's very calm. You know, I don't have to like rush around in London and have all these people in my way. The other day I was on Oxford Street. I almost died. I videoed it. I was going to put it on my story saying, this is why I moved from this country. And then I was like, that's so rude. People will think that's mean. But, you know, I don't feel stressed and overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just thrive in LA.
And it's very outdoorsy. You wake up at 5 a.m., you do your thing. So tell us your whole routine. Get into the details. And I love that Cody gets involved.
Oh, he's putting me to shame while we've been in London.
That's so nice.
He's really doing so well on his routine. So my routine, I'll give you all the details. Just tell me to speed up or slow down.
No,
we wake up at 5 a.m. First thing I do is my alarm goes off and I go on my phone straight away, because I
want to check orders.
No, I'm just tired and it wakes me up. And I know that's the world's worst thing, but like, sorry, there's no other solution.
Well, I think there's something to be said for, okay, we don't use the blue light at nighttime because we want to fall asleep. So in the morning, the blue light is waking you up.
It's waking me up. And I'm all for the get out in sunlight. The sun ain't up at 5.
Yeah.
It's not. So I don't really know my other choices. We recently got the Hatch alarm clock, which is meant to, I don't know, it's not really working out for us. We actually we're having this conversation yesterday. We don't really fight, but our main point of problems in the relationship is in the bedroom with going to sleep and waking up, because we don't like each other's routine.
Oh.
Like, I would love the Hatch. He doesn't want the Hatch. He wants to watch TV before bed. That's like my worst nightmare.
It's like same with me and Casper.
So it's like every night I'm like, can we not? Can we turn it down? Oh, I'm like putting my mask on, like complaining, rolling around. Like, it's a whole thing.
He just needs to watch something on his iPad with his headphones in.
That would never happen.
And you need an eye mask.
I need an eye mask with like AirPod Max meditation.
I do. Eye mask. He has his headphones on and we're good to go. But yeah, I need like full darkness.
Yeah. So that's what I'm working on. But then, but I'm a great sleeper.
That's good.
I'm a really good sleeper. I don't wake up in the night. And then 5 a.m. wake up, go upstairs.
When do you go to bed? What time do you fall asleep?
Between 8:30 and 10. Wow. We go to bed pretty early.
So you get into bed at like 8?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes 7:30. Sometimes Cody will say, please, can I eat dinner in bed? I'm exhausted. At 7, he'll say that.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like he'll work and then go to the gym and get home and say, I don't even need to eat. I just need to go to bed. And then what am I supposed to do? Stay up alone? Hate staying up alone. That's another thing. Like, he's like, why do you get annoyed at me wanting to go to sleep? I'm like, because I don't like being awake alone.
Yeah, you want to hang out.
Yeah, I just don't enjoy it. So anyway, wake up at 5, go upstairs, have a bone broth.
You use Chroma, don't you?
Chroma, the powder.
I don't know if we can get that in the UK, but I'll see.
Maybe
Yeah.
they'll expand soon. And then I try and journal. I still need to get into my meditations, but I'll journal. Like if I have 30 minutes, I'll just write whatever the hell comes to me. If I have 5 minutes, I'll just do what I'm grateful for. And it's like so repetitive, but it makes me feel good.
Okay,
and
so every morning you do your gratitude list, or do you do something? Do you do like a to-do list for the day? What are you writing down, or ideas that's come
just
to you?
gratitude.
Okay.
If I'm quick, if I'm slow, I'll do like, my to-do list, how I want to feel at the end of the day, like something great that I hope happens today. Just like maybe I'll unpack the day before, or like I'll just write like, I'm so proud of myself, I've done this and this, stuff like that. If I have a ton of time, I will like look at old journal entries and like, just like really.
Yeah, it's so nice looking back, I think.
Or sometimes I'll be like, what do I want to achieve this year, or like this week or this month? And then I'll just write that down. And then I go to the gym.
Yeah.
I've started training with this trainer in LA called Kirsty Godzo.
Yeah.
And so we train once a week, and then I'll do her workout, and then I supplement with Briny Pilates. She has it in my schedule.
I love that. That's so sweet. She writes it in.
Yeah, she writes it in. But I've only recently started training with her because I just wanted like a bit more guidance.
Yeah.
I think
when you're actually in a gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and
nice.
then I try and get a few steps outside. Like I'll go home, pick up my dog, take her for like a 30-minute walk, come home, have my breakfast, which is sausages and avocado.
Yeah, but you've got me into chicken sausages.
Yeah, they're really good, right?
So good. I brought them into the office today. I was like, guys, I got my chicken sausages.
Yeah.
They're like, what the hell?
I'm really obsessed with chicken sausages.
So you have how many chicken sausages?
It depends how big they are, but 2 to 3, and then half an avocado.
Okay.
Then I have all my supplements from my naturopath, which is like, I don't even know what it is, but it includes some omega, some stuff for my thyroid, a vitamin D, stuff like that. And then I'll do my matcha after I've eaten my breakfast.
Yeah.
So usually I'll come
Caffeine
home.
after breakfast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll come home from the gym, I'll eat straight away. So this is probably like 7:30, 8 a.m. I'm eating breakfast.
Yeah.
Then I'll shower, get ready, and then I'll have my matcha around 9 when I sit down at my laptop, like between like 8:30 and 9.
Yeah.
And then I have lunch, I have dinner.
And you work from home, don't
Work from
you?
home, yeah. They're always quite like protein meals. And then I try and like go for a walk. I love a walk, catch up with a friend, or just like try and do something outside. We just got a sauna, so I'll have a sauna. I'll do like my lymphatic boots. And then I take my magnesium before bed.
Which magnesium do you like?
The naturopath gave it to me.
Oh, so it's just a...
Yeah.
Yeah. I just discovered through Michael Bostic the best sleep cocktail of supplements.
Oh, tell me.
Magnesium, apigenin.
What's that?
It's a sleep supplement. They're all together, they're amazing. So L-theanine, which is really strong in matcha, which calms you. So that's why matcha doesn't give you the spikes and crashes coffee does.
Right.
L-theanine. So take L-theanine, magnesium, apigenin, and GABA.
Oh, God.
All together, and you are gone.
Yeah, I take at night this like cortisol relaxer thing.
Ooh.
And the magnesium before bed, and I always have the best sleeps. And then I'll try and do something like, I got the Vital Red Light, and I'll try and put it on. I just try, because I've heard so many people on so many podcasts be like, oh, I was building my business, I was pushing myself, working myself to the bone, I was blah, 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 blah. I had no sleep, no food. I'm like, I don't ever want to say that on a podcast in like 5 years. Yeah, I made millions and now I'm this. Like, no thanks. I'm not interested in that.
Yeah.
I don't want to crash and burn. I obviously do want to have a successful business, but I want my wellness and my personal life to be thriving at the same
Yeah.
time. And so that's why I'm like trying to do all these things every day, like always scheduling in a sauna or like some stuff for me.
Yeah.
So that like by the end of the week, I can like tick it off. Like, yeah, I have done a lot for me this week, and like keeps me calm.
Yeah, but I feel like you are very efficient with your time. So if you want to meet up with a friend, you will go on a walk. You'll kind of habit stack in that way. So you're just super efficient. So you can kind of do things for you as well as
Exactly.
I mean, you get so much done with Heaven Mayhem that. I mean, and also it's important to say that I'm sure there were times where you were like, oh my God, I have so many orders and I'm working alone. I don't have the fulfillment center. I'm going to sit here and get all these orders packed. There probably were like bursts where you thought, I don't have that much balance. But now you're at the point where you're able to have more balance and more structure. So
yeah, no, there was a time where I had no balance.
Yeah.
And I was having like a protein bar for breakfast, and then a late morning snack, and then I would have it again for lunch.
Yeah.
Just like, because I
Just
couldn't
quickly
cook.
get
and then I would order something for dinner because I don't have time to go to the supermarket or do anything. But now I'm just trying to like, I don't know. Now I just have, I'm just making myself do it.
You're kind of like making yourself a high performer.
Well, I guess I'm trying, but it's not like I'm not balancing going to the supermarket, cooking these meals, having all of this stuff, running this business alone. Like my assistant, I'm not going to lie, does my supermarket shopping, helps me prep my food. You know, just it's not like, you know, those mums sometimes that get on a podcast and they're like, it's not all me. I've got a nanny. And I'm like, thanks for telling me.
Yeah, exactly. Because it is sometimes like disheartening. You're thinking, how are you doing this all? Yeah. But I mean, you've got this thriving business. You're able to employ an assistant now. So you should be so proud of yourself.
Oh, thanks.
And just circling back, I hate that phrase, but here we are. Circling back to friendship and making new friends. What would be, because you are the queen of this. There's no one better at making new friends than you. You're so warm and bubbly and friendly, and
oh my God,
also
that's really sweet.
Yeah, but I mean it, and you're really good at lifting people up. And like, I know that when we go on our walks, you're like, okay, so I've thought of this, and you need to do this, and you need to put this in your newsletter. You're just so sweet. So what would you say moving to LA? You didn't have any friends when you moved there, did you? So what are your tips of making new friends in a new area?
My tips are try not to be shy, try and be warm and like friendly. I think that's like a big thing, because I think sometimes shyness can be like mistaken. I don't know, just try and be as friendly as you can, because
sometimes shyness can come off like
a bit
cold,
rude. Cold. So I think that's a big tip. I think being really vulnerable and not trying to be too cool, like, I don't know.
Even going, like, I know exactly what you mean. If you're going to an event, say, for example, like one of the walks that I've done, just go up to someone and say, oh my God, I'm so nervous.
Yes. Oh my God, I'm so nervous. Don't know anyone here.
Because if someone said that to me, I'd be like, okay, I've got you.
Yeah.
Like,
come under my wing.
Yeah,
You're
we're
staying
together.
With me all night.
Stay with me, and I'm gonna like. And I think that generally people are like that.
Yes, of course. I think
But I can relate. Definitely.
Yeah,
it's so nerve-wracking.
It is. And I think as well, not that like I'm friggin' amazing, but I think being like quote humble is very important, at least to me. Like never in my life would I walk into a room and be like, oh, I'm doing this, this and this. Like I'll always listen to other people. I always ask other people. If they say, what do you do? I'll say, oh, I have a brand. And then they'll have to say, oh, what's it called? What is it? And I'll say, oh, it's a jewelry brand. It's called Heaven Mayhem. That's it. Like I would never be like, oh, you know, I've just been on
I have
Heaven
an empire.
But like people love, I think, I don't know, in America, like they like love to talk about what they're doing.
Yes.
I don't know. For me, it's just not
being
my
down
taste.
to earth and interested in other people.
So that's what I try and do. And actually it's the best way to make friends, because then you're on the front foot and you can ask about them and you can make sure that there's someone you want to be friends with, you know, like you learn all about them. So that's what I like to do.
You also DM people, don't you?
Oh yeah, I cold DM all the time. Like
I love that.
But I think I don't know. I just will reply DM someone like obsessed with you, obsessed with your brand, love what you're doing, literally obsessed with every outfit. I'm in London. Do you want to grab a coffee? What's the worst that can happen? They never read it. No problem. They read it and think, freak. No problem. Like, you know?
Yeah. Is that how we met? I know.
No,
I
you
messaged
DM
you
me.
asking for LA tips.
Yeah.
And then you were like, girl, come on my pod.
Yeah.
Because you're American.
I just listened to your podcast with Mimi like a week before, and I was like, oh my God, I literally just found out all about you. You must come.
Oh yeah, that was the link.
But I think just being, I don't know, just being a bit open and friendly.
Yeah. I mean, I used to be the shyest girl in the room. So one thing, like I went to a dinner recently with like 30 women, and it was a bit out of my comfort zone. I didn't know anyone, and it was like a grown up dinner. You know what I mean? It was like, you know, a bit more kind of grown up, incredible women in the room, and I was just like, and I walked in, and before I went in, I was like, okay, I'm not going to go on my phone and put my phone in my bag, because I think when you walk in on your phone, that's also not good.
So bad.
So I was like, put my phone in my bag, and I just sucked it up, and I went over to the first person and just said, hi, I'm Bryony. Yeah. And then I know it sounds so simple, but if you just do that, it then snowballs and leads to other things. And then they're asking you, you're asking them questions, and then someone else comes over and joins. And I think something so simple like that is quite a good little tip in a room full of strangers.
Yeah, I think so. I went to this meeting the other day with like someone who I've looked up to for a long time, and I was kind of going into it like, I don't really know what I'm going to say, because like she's very, I don't know, well known, and like I just, you know, I had no idea. So I was a bit nervous, but in my head I had like 10 questions kind of that if it's an awkward silence, or if I don't know where the conversation's going next, I could always be like, oh, so tell me about your day-to-day life in your brand, or like, how did you build this? Or, you know, you have a few backups.
So you had like a list of 10 questions like in the bank.
In the bank in case I needed them, which I didn't, but you can just have,
it kind of gives you that calm security. You're like,
and
okay,
you don't need to have them specific to someone, like saying, oh, so what do you do, or like what's the day-to-day, what does a day in the life look like for you? That's a question you can ask any single person in any job or no job. So like having a few questions like that up your sleeve, which that as well, that's not a yes or no question. Like that person has to give you a 2-3 minute answer, which can lead to like, oh yeah, I also go to that gym, or I also do that, and like that's a good conversation
before you know it, you're kind of bonding, and
and then if you're not, you're like, okay, I don't want to be your friend. Move on.
Oh, there's such good tips. And lastly, before you leave, you look gorge, and your skin looks so fresh. So tell me your kind of skincare and makeup must-haves.
Okay, so my skincare, I don't know, just being sent a lot of products, I would try it all, and I probably wasn't doing the right thing. I've recently gone to a facial place in LA called Artisan of Skin. Highly recommend. And they put me on Jewellery. Have you heard of Jewellery?
I have, through you and through Ariel.
Yes.
Is it Ariel Laurie?
Yes. What's that book? The Blonde Files.
Yeah.
She talks about it nonstop, and Jewellery is the best skincare ever. It's
really
amazing. It's changed my life. I just think it's like cleared my skin a bit, but has kind of like tightened it. I don't know. I just don't know, but it's really working.
And do you use her full skincare?
Yeah,
full routine.
Pretty much all the products are Jewellery, but she's got a lot of products. Like she doesn't just have one cleanser or one serum.
So you choose the one that's for your skin tone.
So you almost need to go to someone first to tell you what to do, because otherwise it's really overwhelming. But the products are great. And then maybe I'm going because I did this like 24 karat gold mask last night. This like MZ skin mask.
Oh yes, mask. I know. I have that.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Because I always thought there's kind of scams. I'm like, this is a freaking scam. But they work.
They really do. And the eye mask, I love the 111 Skin black eye mask. They're so good, and use the ice roller over it.
I need to get some for the plane. But that's my skincare routine. And then SPF every day, obviously.
Which SPF?
Jewellery.
Okay, great.
And then for makeup, I'm really obsessed with this YSL skin tinted moisturizer kind of stuff right now. And then I'm also die hard for Charlotte Tilbury.
What shade tinted moisturizer are you using? Because I'm literally going to go and buy it tonight.
I can send picture. It's probably like a 7 or a 5. Like my Charlotte Tilbury is 7.5 Hollywood Flawless Filter.
Yep.
That's what you need.
Okay.
Oh, and then my like number one trick is this Hourglass ambient lighting palette. Kind of go over these like 2 shades that are nothing shades and just dab it over my whole face, which just gives like a tiny bit of glow.
Yeah.
But I like it when I sweat a tiny bit through my makeup, so it's like a bit dewy.
Yeah.
I don't want a matte finish.
No.
But this like allows you to do that. And everyone's always like, oh, what's on your face? I'm like, oh, it's this powder. They're like, how is it a powder? It looks
So glowing.
Yeah.
You're like, it's sweat.
Yeah, it's sweat. So that's my tips.
Okay, amazing. And lastly, you are a little fashionista.
Oh, thanks.
What would be your, like, you know those days where you're thinking, what can I wear? I want to feel good. I want to feel elevated, put together. What would be your outfit?
My outfit, if I lived here, would be a loafer. I'm wearing the new Naked Wolf loafers. I highly recommend. They're so comfy.
They are stunning.
They look like the ones from the Row for like a tenth of the price.
They also look like, I tried on the new YSL
Yeah,
ones.
they look like the YSL and the Row ones.
They're so good.
So I would wear a loafer with a jean or like a straight black pant. Today I'm wearing like a really baggy pant. I'm just over them. I wish I had my straight ones here. But, and then I would wear a black turtleneck bodysuit. I love a turtleneck. I think they look really chic. And then I love like a trench coat or like a leather trench. Or
where's this bodysuit from?
Wolford.
Yeah, they're the best.
It's so good.
And then obviously a Heaven Mayhem belt and earrings.
The problem is, I'm sorry, it's not really a problem, but all the outfits I wear are really basic. Everything is like very relatable, basic. You could wear the Row version or you could wear the Zara version. But the thing that makes the outfit is the jewelry and the belt. And that's why I dress like that, because I truly believe like the earrings make the fit.
Yeah.
And then you just are highlighting them, and you can wear the same thing every single day. I dress like I have a uniform. In LA, all I wear is jeans and a white t-shirt, earrings, and then if it's really hot, I'll wear thongs, like flip-flops.
Yeah.
If it's cold, I'll wear a loafer, and that's literally
I
my
love
uniform.
having a uniform because like
It's
traveling
easy.
and packing, and you just don't have to think. And like you say, the jewelry dresses it up.
Yeah.
I'm actually wearing Heaven Mayhem earrings
Yeah,
myself.
you're actually wearing the mini knot. Oh, that's what Haley wore.
I'm obsessed. I actually ordered these on Revolve, and I messaged you. I was like, I feel really weird. I've just ordered these on Revolve because I'm wondering if I get them quicker. And you're like, no, it's all the same. I'm like, oh no.
No, I was so excited.
But I have to say, I never wear earrings ever. Do you remember I actually pierced my own ear for you?
Because I was like, I want to give you some, and you're like, well, I don't have my ears pierced.
I had them pierced when I was younger, and then I never wear earrings. I have elf ears, so I don't want to draw attention to them. I have like little elfy ears.
Show me. Hang on. Are they small?
No, they're not small.
Hun,
So anyway, they're not my best feature, so I don't draw attention to them, but I'm obsessed with your earrings, and I wear them all the time, especially on holiday. I always feel like if I wear a simple dress and your earrings, I feel so good. And they're so light.
they're so light. That's the thing.
They are so premium. They look premium, but they're also light, and the belts are stunning.
Thanks for all the compliments. I feel like I've said thanks, but you've really been bigging me
well,
up.
no, but it's all true. Anyway, thank you so much. I love you. Thanks
for having me on.
Thank you. Bye.